Hey TikTok, I just figured I would make yet another video. There's just so much going on behind the scenes that so many of us are oblivious to, and then some of us are able to tap into scenarios because we have been targeted by secret societies and various government agencies since childhood, if not birth, in my case. So again, there's so much else going on behind the scenes that meets the eye, and I wanted to share with you my findings and thoughts. So Q is a military intelligence operation. A video that I found on YouTube stated there was a group of 800 military officials working with Donald Trump because his presidency was a military intelligence operation. And nothing is as it seems. So there were a couple of things that kind of, I guess, were triggers for me with President Trump, specifically when he went into Walter Reed on October 2nd of 2020. There was something when he came out, he looked different in the car, and he did a thumbs up, which was a subconscious trigger for me because I've always had some sort of connection with President Trump, other than I hear things in his speeches that others don't necessarily pick up on. One specific thing was in the last speech that he did. He said, we will be back in some form. Back in some form comes to 144 in Gematria. My birth name is Leilani Olofsza. It also comes to 144 in Gematria, and I am one of the Magic Grail Indigos that was targeted. And they, I guess, use our abilities in Project Looking Glass. And there are 13 Illuminati families that targeted probably 13 of us. Obviously, there's millions of us, but primarily for our spiritual gifts. And, you know, there's too many of us now waking up, and there's millions of star seeds and angelic beings that are realizing this world is not quite as it seems. And again, I got sidetracked. The military intelligence operation Q is, and JFK Jr., there's some of the stuff that they're trying to peddle him off as Q. He's not affiliated at all with Q. He's actually a traitor, him and his family, because they tried to extort Q, which is Extortion 17, which they tried to do with Aaron Vaughn. I do believe Aaron Vaughn is alive and went into witness protection because they were led to believe that Hillary Clinton was after them, but they listened to Diana Spencer, who also faked her death and went into witness protection. Basically, I guess, lied in those instances. Got my brothers. We are higher vibrational celestial beings. To go into a program to help save the children. But, you know, the video that they've shared of Aaron Vaughn is where the CIA wiped his memory. But his voice, I know his voice, there's a soul tie. And if they are doing these things to our special ops guys, it's an alert to say what the heck is actually going on here. The other one, the other guys that I believe were targeted was Chris Kyle, and then Glenn Doherty and Tyrone Woods in Benghazi. Also, Hillary was accused of that, but I do believe they went into witness protection to help save the children. And then I don't know quite, I'm not sure, because JFK Jr. came for me spiritually, him and his family and his wife, and they did. But my purpose on this earth is to expose the demonic beings and all those involved in witchcraft, which is a very real thing, because we are still draining the swamp, and there won't be any corrupt people in to build this country based on its original principles. And that's why this is a military intelligence operation, because your federal government are domestic terrorists. And it's so much bigger than that. But basically, there were lots of things that President Trump also did. And when he went into Walter Reed, he could have potentially have been murdered on October 2nd of 2020. And because this is a military intelligence operation, they would have never been able to tell us that, because it would have caused too much of a dip in the Schumann resonance. And it was the collective consciousness that had to keep on exposing more of the truth and the light, and something like that would have caused too much of a dip in our consciousness, that we would have missed some of the stargates and portals that the Space Force has been working with, basically traversing this Earth through galactic stargates to increase the vibrational frequency of the Earth. And any being that is not of love and not of light kind of falls to the wayside, because this is a spiritual battle. But again, it's bigger. And then we have to realize that the reptilians are actually among us, and the fake Kennedys that are actually Clooney's, which is Greek, and they're also Hebrew, and it goes to Revelation 9:11, because this is, their king, who he is actually the Alpha Draconian reptilian warlord that invaded this time matrix at the beginning of the Bible story. The serpent in the garden was Moloch or Marduk, and JFK Jr. is the reincarnation of Marduk, or Set, and Set is the Lord of Chaos and Confusion. So there's a lot of us waking up, and our souls are realigning from previous incarnations, not only on this earth but throughout dimensions. And my voice is a super soldier activator, I guess, because there are many, many angelic celestial beings out there that have been trained since birth for what is coming. And again, nothing is as it seems. There are people that are dead that we think are alive, and people that are actually alive that we think are dead. Another one is Patrick Tillman Jr. is a Space Force commander that I do feel was also pulled in to expose the Satanism in the NFL and also in the military. And I guess, they know what our spiritual gifts are. We've all been targeted since birth by these Illuminati, Leviathan, Luciferian families. So they've known what our spiritual gifts are, and that's why they've targeted us, because, like I said, we are the Majigirl Indigos, and our souls vibrate at a higher frequency, so we can actually shift timelines or jump timelines. And right now, I guess there's a convergence of timelines. And there's just so many changes. Aaron Vaughn, I do believe, is still alive. I do believe that Patrick is still alive. I was targeted where they had planned on hurting me, and they still plan to, listening to the starseeds and all the spiritualists, our tarot readers that are the energy readers. They can tell you what's going on, what are the lower vibrational beings are doing. They read energy. That's what it is. So you become kind of aware of what's going on and who your enemies are. But again, this is a massive witch hunt, and we won't have anyone other than those that are pure of heart coming together to make this world a better place, not those that target light workers and try and harvest our life force and take away our spiritual gifts, and basically committing crimes against humanity. It's kind of a difficult position, because I'm just someone that was born in a small town in South Africa. But God has a bigger purpose for me, and this hopefully will fall on ears and know that our soldiers are not to be sacrificed. They are God's children. They have the light of God in them. That's why they're all willing to lay their life down for you and for me. And that's why this government and these evil places have targeted them. So I love you. I love you. And hopefully this will make sense and resonate with those that need